And hello all, how are we doing on this fine Monday at Blaine's Escape Corner? The start of the week for the largest nightly anime podcast talk show, me blabbing in a mic while I discuss anime and play video games poorly that we have every single night. How we have got a busy chat in this pre-stream here. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, awesome. How are you doing? Late again, Blaine. I'm not. I believe I was right on time. You hit that like button. Awesome. Thank you very much. You were probably just talking to yourself for a period of time. Michael is here. Michael, the good old I am here. He's doing it. He's doing the thing. Oh, everybody chatting. Pop, what are you shoveling snow? What, already? It's November. You got snow in November? You got some crazy things going on over there. Crazy town. All right, let's turn that up a little bit. There we go. That sounds better. That sounds more like what I'm used to. There we go. Now we're pulling it in. Pulling it in there. All right, 8675309. Don't call that number. I've heard that person that owns that number has received phone calls for their entire life, and that sounds like a huge pain in the ass. To me, at least. On time and still gay. Another Blaine-less weekend has come to an end. Yeah, nobody invites me to their weekend streams anymore. Oh. All good. I was a very, very busy boy this weekend. So let's see. Oh, I know I watched that. I forgot to mark that one. Ooh, baby. Let's talk about some anime. All right, let's get the sake flowing and the anime descriptions a plugging as we get a chugging. Boop, boop. Anymore. I'm just giving Brandon a hard time if he ever sees this one. Well, I guess 66, who is now Ronin66. I did a weekend stream with him one time. Those were a couple there. So, kampai, everyone. You watch shows today? Can't wait to watch Alchemist later. That number almost always works for a customer ID number at grocery stores, but then how do you get the fuel saving rewards? You gotta use your own number. That way you can save $1 next time you fill up your tank. It means even more now than it used to mean. Oh my goodness. You're here for the reviews? Let's go! Alrighty, Ronin the Shonen. I don't know what that one means, but we can go with it. Eminence and shout. Actually, let's back it up. I watched a few that I didn't actually do a review on Friday. So let's talk Akiba, Maid, War. What more do you want? Like, I don't know how much more I can say about you should be watching this show than you should be watching this show. This show is still fantastic. This show is still really fun. Every single episode is it's a Yakuza game. It's what if Underground Casino? What if they have to work with another part of their community? What if just all of these different, like, they're gonna lose a finger, or this person's gonna die because they didn't pay enough money to the owners, right? Like, it's every Yakuza thing you've ever seen, but it's maids in Akihabara. If you're not watching, you gotta get on this one. I don't know what to say to you at this point, but get on it, doggone it, in the words of Camelot 331 and his dancing pecs. Number 2, Futoku no Guild. I've now seen the 4th episode of this one. That's I'm gonna call Futoku no Guild a drop. I'm gonna call it. We'll have a drop episode later this week because I feel like it's been a bit since we've had a drop episode. But we will definitely have to go through, and I think Futoku no Guild square, like, if you weren't dropping it by episode 2, you're dropping it at episode 4. You're like, yeah, no, I'm out. I'm out. Blaine Guess, subs go down. My subs go up. So I guess it's good for me. The Eminence in Shadow. We've got episode 5, I believe. Is it? Let me double check. It's whatever. Yeah. So episode 5, we've got some. I really wanted the. I really wanted the the princessy character, the sword lady character, to like see his sword style and be like, oh my gosh, it's him. And maybe she will, but that was the only thing where I was like, this whole thing is about that Chunibyo delusions. Like, let's be as ridiculous as we can be with making our main character as badass as possible and as contrived a story as possible. Having her realize it's him based on the actual like sword fighting would have been like that little piece de resistance on that one. Still enjoying that show, still having fun with it. Definitely getting deeper into it. Me and the boys dropping episode 1. Yeah. Episode 1 seemed like a ridiculous intro. This is Futoku no Guild. Episode 1 seemed like a ridiculous introduction to a crazy world, which I've seen a lot of. Like, episode 1s can sometimes go really far into the let's try to introduce something that seems ridiculous, and it seemed like it was getting ridiculous. And then it was the episode 2 that was the absolute pinnacle of boredom, where I was like, nah, this one's done. But every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, there's another one. Let me get it. Let me get it. And no, there's nothing to get. Don't bother. If you've got extra time, watch something else. Oh, baby. You subbed to Channel 66. Now you're subbed to Ronin 66. Your subscription is not to be passed around like a cheap... Cry some more. Cry some more, Dragon Ruse. You were happy for the Atomic Part to be animated. Good adaptation. I'm like, aren't there people in these buildings? Isn't he making him I know that he's like, I work in the shadows to hunt the shadows. I'm the shadow hunting man. But I wasn't expecting him to just decimate this entire chunk of the town. Just like, all right, how do I stop an atom bomb? I be the atom bomb. What am I bemoaning? Futoku no Guild, Immoral Guild. Join me in bemoaning. People died in the manga for sure. Okay, good. Because I'm looking at it like, those are houses. Somebody's gotta die here. I don't believe that he got away with this. And they never really... did they, in that little tent scene, reference, the shadow people? They've killed thousands, or, do they reference that in the anime, or do they just kind of gloss right over it? Because I felt like I was like, wait a minute, he just killed thousands of people. Are we hunting him now? And then they're more focused on the idea that the cult infiltrated, the Knights Order. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This cult seems pretty messed up. And sure, they, infiltrated your order, but those shadow people just indiscriminately murdered many people. I don't know. I would have a little bit different priorities in that situation. Unless the thoughts are, well, the shadow people are unstoppable. Maybe. I don't know. There was no Justice League announcing nobody home to please critics. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that sentence means. Can someone explain that one to me? Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Continued complaint about it being a school and not called an academy. Set it aside. I like that we have crazy rapscallion mechanic who can make anything from whatever. I think that was a great effort there. I'd like to see I'd like to see more of this, more of the other corporations being real bad, and more birthday songs, just like the Prelude had birthday songs. Oh baby, oh I love it. I love it so much. I'm interested to see, are we just gonna get a new Ellen, Elaine? In Japanese, it'd be Elan. So it's like Elon. He's like the Elon Musk of the Gundam world. Elon Musk is now a Gundam boy who's been cloned multiple times. That's why Elon Musk is so crazy, because they randomly take other people and they just swap his face. And it's like, you could be talking to the real Elon Musk, or you could be talking to a duplicate that they just pulled off the streets and gave an Elon Musk mask to, and now you got the Musk mask walking around being like, hey, what if dolphins could talk to us? Or something, you know? You never know what that guy's gonna say or come up with next. As long as he gives me my blue check for $8, that's all I care about. Would you rather be a level 4 bum or a level 3 homeless? These are important questions Yakuza 7 asks you. Ooh, I have not caught up to 7. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Don't ask why. 1, 2, 3, and 6 are what I've played. You're BVS. They complained the final fight, Soups killed a bunch of people. Oh, Batman v Superman. So you had that added line in Justice League, so no off-screen deaths. Got it. Got it. Where they're like, oh, he blew up a town, and you're like, don't worry, the town's abandoned. Some bullshit like that where they do it. Oh, man. Reincarnated as a sword. I am just finishing the episode where 4 and 5 are your favorite Yakuza games. I'm pretty sure it was just based on like the console they were on, and I haven't gone back to like play them on Steam, because the Kiwami 1 and 2 came out, and then I forgot how I had 3. I think I had played 3 previously, so I played 3, then I played 1, 2. I love 1. 1 is such a fun game. And then 6, I actually got 6 in a trade. How did I? Oh, I bought someone like a Shenron statue in Japan and like gave it to him, and all they could pay me with was like a coupon or a free download code for 6. So that's how I skipped straight to 6. And then I think I have. Is it Way of the Dragon? Is that the other one that's like Yakuza, not Yakuza? Not Way of. What's the? There's like a different style Yakuza game. So I'm not against playing 4 and 5, but I just there was a weird thing that happened, that got me to playing 6 before I played 4 and 5, and just haven't gone back. So I'm all for it. I freaking love those games. They're so great. Where was I? Like a Dragon. Okay, so Like a Dragon is 7. So I at least own Like a Dragon, so we can play that at some point. Reincarnated as a sword. We are fighting big bad demony thing. We're in the dungeon. I love the moment when Fran gets her hands cut off, but I wish it lasted a little longer. It's a little much like, oh, this terrible thing happened. You see her panicking. She's freaking out. She doesn't know how to fight. She doesn't have her hands anymore, so she can't hold Shisho. She's panicking, right? We've got this freak out. But then it's very, very quickly swept up. Like, oh, we're good. We're good now. All right, don't worry. It's okay. I don't like that it's so good so quickly. I wish for the sake of having that up and down in a fight that she had a little more time at that bottom of the bottom. Like, I'm not going to get to wield Shisho. This guy's going to kill me. Something like that. I want it to stay there a little bit longer. I like that we're still in this fight. It's not just she can just wipe it away like it's no problem. But I do wish we sat at the rock bottom for a little bit longer than we did. Yeah, that's what you meant last week, Frown being overconfident. Understood. Don't cry, manga reader. We didn't permanently maim Fran. Oh, what would be even better if she freaking she gets robot hands or something? Like she gets the freaking the guts god hand. That would be great. That would be great. Overall, I mean it's doing well. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just the scenes that people sent me in like the manga panels are just a lot more serious. And the show seems to focus much more on the she's just dominant thing. And I don't know if that's adaptation or if that's manga or what's going on there. But we will see. You can't kill Yuasefu. She's gonna DIY herself some body armor and kill you. You got 2 episodes of Maid War and do it yourself to finish before all the shows you care about are 5 episodes watched. Woo, baby. Fran Evergreen. I'm an automaton that writes letters now because I have robot hands. Because that's what we do when we have robot hands, is we write letters now. Bleach! 1,000-Year Blood War! It's doing that thing where instead of bring a challenge to Ichigo that he has to contemplate and figure out and sort of overcome, they just use a magic woo-woo to make him not able to fight right now. And so your only stakes that we have at this moment are that the Quincy's are kicking ass and Ichigo can't get there. Now, of course, we end with the Fireball Captain of Maniacy, which was sort of a bro. Your people dying. What? You got crazy superpower and you're not flying around murdering everything. What's going on? How come you had to take so long to get your old ass out of bed? Wake up, Grandpa! Oh, man. The current deaths that we have are, what's his name? Byakuya? Rukia's older brother. His sword actually shattered, so I think he is dead. Then Renji got his ass beat through a wall, and he's down. I don't know if he's dead. Rukia got stabbed in the back because she was a dumb beat and, like, turned around in the middle of her fight and was like, brother, and started running and just got stabbed in the back. And it was like, the hell are you doing? Oh, bunch of stupid ass shit. And then the scene ends with Kenpachi, spiky hair badass guy, getting choked to death by Head Quincy, and Yamamoto lands and is like, I kill you now. And he's like, why didn't you kill him sooner? It's been a long while. Like, I've been watching 4 episodes of this fight. Where have you been, old man? Oh, it's one of those Goku things where you're like, Goku, where you been? And he's like, I was eating. And you're like, shut up, Goku. Oh, man. Probably the most innocent thing to happen with robot hands. Oh, that is true. This is going to be mostly about the other Soul Reapers fighting a war. Ichigo does his own thing for a minute. His own thing for a minute is he's in a little jail prison ball in the middle of 2 dimensions. They're like, oh, I'll staple these dimensions shut and then we'll put him in a ball. And it's like, okay, I guess. But then that guy gets obliterated, but the ball doesn't disappear. I don't know. It's weird. It's such a, oh, you just gonna make it so that he's not fighting him. He just can't do anything. He's stuck. And you're like, all right, cool. It's called Bleach. He's the Bleach Boy. That's like the whole point of the series. I want to see him fight things and get stronger and fight them more. Why are we sitting on our ass here? That happened on MHA and Black Clover as well. Something in my RAM. It's gonna be most of those a minute. LMAO. Fuck Renji. You're not a fan of the Renge dog, I see. You're excited the officers are being killed off. This is final arc. Hopefully we will see death. Well, they're not really getting killed, are they? Like when they die in the Soul Society, they just get reincarnated into the Human Society. I forget the lore, because when you die, you go someplace in Soul Society, but then after you eventually get through like the Buddhist hell or whatever, you get to reincarnate. So do Shinigami get to reincarnate too? Did Izuru fight yet? No. No, I have not seen Izuru fight yet. I don't think he's even... Wait. Did he even go to Waco Mundo? No, he's been chatting with his broski, isn't he? I think. Something like that. Old man, he just prune juice. He got the runs. That's how it always is. Exactly. Bleach sucks. Bleach is very good at creating a visceral, emotive reaction. I don't know one of these guys' damn names. I call him Dog Shinigami and all of his friends. But when the old man starts flying and the dog is like, old man's here, we can't die, because if we do, he'll kill us. And all his broskies stand up and they're like, yeah, for the old man. You're like, yeah, do it for the old man. Like, you have this visceral reaction, but you're like, I don't know who these guys' names are. I don't know who they're fighting right now, other than the fact that she's like the cute Quincy. Like, that's all we can tell at this point. But I'm like in it. I'm like, yeah, do it. But then you're looking at it and you're like, wait, who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? Who did you do anything? Like, the story doesn't mean a damn thing, but it makes you feel good. You're like, yeah, fight back. It's just it's so good at like distilling that visceral reaction into something it can just inject through your eyeballs. It's crazy. If Ichigo was there, he would die. He ain't strong enough. When a Quincy kills you, it's permanent. I thought when a Quincy killed a Hollow, it's permanent. I don't know that I've heard the same thing about Shinigami deaths. Captain Old Man is mad. That's true. You know, most of their names, Dog Bro, though. Captain Kumpatchy. Yeah, he's a good one. One of those fights that's like stuck in my head is Kenpachi versus whatever the blind guy is. Because the blind guy's like, my Bankai makes this whole area, so you have to live in my world, but I can see perfectly. So now he makes you blind, but he can see in his little bubble thing. And then Kenpachi is just like stands there and like waits. And then as soon as he feels the cut, just grabs the guy's sword and just beats him. Like, that's one of the best fights in Bleach. It has nothing to do with like primary characters, really. Like, sure, you could argue that the blind guy is like one of the main Aizen followers or whatever, and like Kenpachi's like a powerful captain, but like they're not Ichigo, they're not Chad, they're not any of the like the primary characters in the series, but it's one of the best fights I think there is. Fight for Fat Tits Lieutenant, Rengoku. It's basically confirmed when it's initially explained they destroy the soul with their attacks. That makes sense, because I know that it says like specifically like they destroy the hollows completely, and the hollows are souls basically. So if their Ryatsu is taking out the hollow Ryatsu, it only makes sense that they would also completely evaporate a Shinigami as well. Tosin, the blind guy, yeah. Oh, it's such a good because he's like, I can see you perfectly. You're reaching like this. You're blah blah blah. Oh, what are you? And it's like, shut up, asshole. You're like, oh, I finally have the leg up, and he's like, nah, bro, I'm just so badass. I'm going to take a hit so that I can know where you're at and then kick your ass. Like it's so good. But it has nothing to do with like the story. It's just like a really good fight that like you just pluck it out and you're like, wow, I really like this. Also, best OST. Like, I've been thinking about it. And my sister's been rewatching the whole series, so she's been like texting me about all of the openings and endings recently. There's not a bad one in the list. Even Happy People is a fun song. Like they just there is no other long-running series that every single song is that awesome. Bleach has many good waifus. 2. I guess 3. Is Nell older if you count that? That could be a 4. Tonight's your favorite Bleach OP? Ah, it's so good. More Spanish guitar. Bing, bing, ding, 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 ding. I used to have a Spanish guitar with like nylon strings. It was so much fun. Rather enjoyable. I quite had a great time with that one. And with that, we've done it. We have gone through the anime. The anime that I have watched this weekend. Are you all ready? Are you prepared mentally, physically, and potentially sexually for what's about to come? Now is the time that you all hate me. You turn and you say, why did I show up today? You put it in the title. You put it in the title, but we still didn't believe you. We didn't think you stupid enough to play one of his videos. No! We're going to watch a video called They Were Just in the Way. Indian Removal. From a channel called Knowing Better. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, but I did see that and I was like, huh. 2.5 hours of why the Indians were removed. Could be enlightening. Now you're going to watch a video on anime CGI phobia. Give him those blankets. It's 2.5 hours. We may, but as of right now, that is not the plan. They didn't do it fast enough. I don't know how it takes 2.5 hours to say what happened. How deep are we going into all this? Andrew Jackson did nothing wrong. Oh my goodness. All right, where's my picture in picture? Here we go. Failed to connect. Direct connect. Failed to connect. Direct connect. Oh no. Andrew Jackson. Oh no. Then why are they still here? Oh no. I squeaky laughed. Oh baby. Hey Serranos, is the server down? Or is there something wrong with my my Minecraft? Let me see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh wait, we were unable to check what products you own. Check your internet access. My internet's going fine. What's wrong with you? I'm connected. I'm active. I'm live. Tuesday, November 3rd. Old Hickory had to deal with the bank first. He would have finished them off eventually. Oh man, that's a snapshot. I don't want the snapshot. Should be fine. Hmm. You're just saying that so we can play Gundam. I'm on to him. No, it's weird. The launcher says that it like can't verify because it can't connect. Failed connection. Try restarting your game and the launcher. Okay, I'll restart the game and the launcher. How do I? Is the launcher on like a separate task manager? Mo USO? No. Jeez, Lou. Service house, what is this? I'm a den of vipers and thieves. Okay, that looks good. Preparing. You'll restart. I don't think it's you. Because my launcher was saying like unable to verify connection. And all that. Or not. Bingo. Wait, aren't I? Here comes a stutter. There we go. Lag alert! You equals he equals I or me, and I or me equal you. Slow day tomorrow, so normie shows continue. Well, isn't that just wonderful? You get to continue some normalization shows. All right, let's get him up here in the corner. That way I can create shorts if need be from his doofy face. You can put Blaine on the TV, but the TV has a big screen. I don't need to be punished that. Hey, I mean, you don't want to see this weak OT in 4K? Actually, I think I only stream 720 because restream is kind of a beezy. But yes, let's get so there's that one, and then I want the rest coming through that. Perfect. Okay, so I've got him in Minecraft on different layers. Let's say hello, since it's Monday, to our friend Jeffrey Thu. Is his name Jeffrey? I actually don't know. Maybe it is just Jeff.
Oh, man, it sure is a lot of work watching every animated season. But now I get my favorite part, reading what the comments think.
Very good episode. However, dude,
Chainsaw Man was full of such terrible CGI, I could barely make it through the first episode.
All right, so let's take a guess. Because this video is called CGI phobia, like anime CGI phobia. I'm guessing that it's going to be sort of a straw man about how like things that some people complained about weren't really CGI, or maybe not a straw man, but maybe like a limited man, where like, sure, some people complained that some things were, CGI that were actually drawn because they're idiots, but like at the end of the day, the problem is that there are things that were CGI'd that just didn't look great. Let's find out. And I think today I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this stair step here. I'm gonna make this whole thing make sense. This is so Oh, this is so bonkers. Why does it look like this? So I will organize all of this hoo-ha, and we will get to it. You're going to watch more Masamune Revenge. It has several spin-offs and OVAs, so you'll be watching more. Interesting. All right, Jeff. Speak to us.
Story seemed good, but holy crap, the CGI made me sick.
I don't know why Mappa insists on making the rest of the episode god-tier animation, but then using CGI fight scenes.
I'm so tired of sloppy, jumpy, shiny CGI in anime. Chainsaw Man and Bleach TYBW is so bad with it.
I see a lot of praise for Chainsaw Man, and the animation is good. However, the CGI is really bad, and it needs to be called out.
Debate me, bro. CG ruins every anime.
What is going up? Let me try this. Jalua ha humara. Up. I forgot the UP at the end. Good morning. Are you a new Indian friend? I think India's celebrating the morning. That'd be cool if we got another Indian viewer. I don't know how I keep doing it, but they keep showing up.
It's in, apart from Mech and Titan anime.
I like how people are straight coping with the CGI. It looks so jarring, especially Denji.
I honestly don't know if people defending CGI even watch the show before defending everything.
Mappa announced their first isekai as week this week. Wait. As their first isekai like this week? You support Basement Brother? We'll see. We'll see what Basement Brother's thoughts are.
Thing Mappa touches. It feels so fuck awkward when a 3D sprite moves through a static 2D background and even 2D enemies. My brain doesn't let me enjoy what I'm seeing because it focuses on how much it is bad. It is such a shame seeing animes like this and Out never reaching their full potential because animators are obligated to rush their job.
Their job.
I'm sorry. Do you have eyes?
I knew
we
it.
maybe living in like parallel dimensions connected over the internet? Ooh, that's a good idea for a novel.
Oh, he's just not a writer. Don't believe him.
Right. Sorry. I was just. What? How could.
Oh, this whole area is how I keep getting monsters
Calm Blue
growing.
Lake, Jeff. Calm Blue Lake. I'm trying to be less angry and confrontational with
The last time-
but
The last time we watched, you were the one who was loving it.
The anime community has a tendency to hold on to ideas well past the point where they're valid or useful at all. The subs versus dubs debate is a great example. Back in the DVD era, when lots of anime were legitimately butchered by their English TV cuts, and many of the more faithful dubs were lacking in the acting and localization departments while costing $10 per episode.
Sounds like Jeff's gonna rip people for hating CGI. You really wouldn't have had an issue with the CG in the first episode? I saw a lot of people complaining about it. I saw a lot of people defending it. But both were like talking past each other. Like there were a lot of people complaining about the CGI in that, oh, so much CGI, it looks so awful. And it was like, yeah, it does look awful, but it's not because it's so much. It's because of how they used it, right? It's not that there was like a ton of it, right? It's that the way that they applied it seemed very unnecessary and jarring. And then other people are like, dude, this whole scene is drawn. And I'm like, what are you talking about? the two characters in the middle are drawn, but everything else is CG. So what are you talking like? And you just had these two groups that are just shouting past each other. So I definitely saw all of that. Cough, funny cough. I'm pretty sure he's referencing pre-funny dubs.
There was a lot of good reason for anime fans to strongly caution new viewers away from most of them, lest they be disappointed in the viewing experience.
Speed Racer dub is amazing.
Niche hobby as a whole.
Oh.
But anime isn't something you gotta convince most people to get into anymore. And dubs haven't been that bad for a good long while now. A lot of them are pretty great these days, even, and most of them are, at the bare minimum, listenable, narratively coherent,
Listenable?
engagingly performed alternatives to the sub for anyone who wants to watch anime while
Get outta here.
multitasking or needs an extra layer of localization to understand the nuance or appreciate the jokes. And if you don't think that's a high bar for anime dubs to clear, you also definitely don't remember a time before YouTube. Which is fine, but if so, you have no reason to carry on the old feuds of your forefathers. The correct answer to subs or dubs is simple and obvious now. Porque no los dos. Subs for when you're on the couch, fully engaged. Dubs for when you're eating or on the treadmill or whatever. They are both generally good options with situational advantages and disadvantages. But try telling certain corners of the internet that and...
I'm sorry. That's a bit, like, dishonest to the entire argument, isn't it? Like, I am fine. Like, there are a lot of good dubs. I think there's a lot of dubs that need to be watched because they're perfectly fine and they're very good and enjoyable. But that doesn't change the fact that there are also a lot of real dog shit dubs out there. Like Beast Tamer is not good, and you can tell that nobody cares, right? Meanwhile, something like Blue Lock, actually good. Like, we enjoy that dub. So it's not a why not both, because we're not getting either way still being great, right? Raw. Shut up, Blaine Nerd. I'm shouting! Go ahead, shout. Listenable. Also, like, when was the last time that I can't think of a time where you're like, oh, I can't watch this right now, so I'll just watch or I can't look at the screen, so I'll watch it dubbed. I'm like, I don't really do that. Hello, you dirk a bear? What's a bear? What's dirk mean? No, I don't dirk a bear. I drink a sake. It's different. This is Chika sake cup. Blue Lock was good as well. We are getting our positions and set playing accordingly. Yeah, like Blue Lock, Otome Game. There are good shows. There are bad shows. It's just like, it's not a why not both sort of situations. It's a could be either. Give it a chance. But if it's bad, abandon ship and hope all ye who enter, right? Let's not pretend that it's like, oh, it'll just be fine because we're all good. We're all good. It'll be fine. It's all good now. It's like, no, it's not all good. There's lots good, not all good. iPhone? You phone? Me have phone too. I don't know what you mean by that, friend. Also, I want to bring that other. Hold on, do I have enough? I have enough space. I want to bring this down here. Kakegurui live action. Wait, what does that have to do with dubs? What does your favorite live action have to do with fact that dubs? Wait, didn't you say hold shift? Is it control? Hold on. Who are you on the screen? I'm Blaine from Blaine's Escape Corner. Welcome to my corner of the internet. This is where we hang out and talk about things we love. We happen to love a lot of anime, so we talk about anime a lot. Who are you? In the chat. Don't dox yourself, but I always am curious about who shows up to these things. Kakegurui live action. Yes, I know you love that one. Hello, small Indian child. Yes, the ginger with a weak goatee. That's me. That's me. I should just go buy a good pickaxe, but I'll just make one for right now. Ugh. I'll just break this one. You're not a child? Congratulations. I don't know what you are, but not a child it is. Understood. Let's put this torch up here too. Torch power. You're my dad? What? I don't think that's true. My dad only has like a couple usernames I've ever seen him use in his life, so you're not any of those. Pretty sure you got it right the first time. Is he related to the beard above him? Hey. Can I even get my face? Like, I can't get my face that... Can I get my face that large in reference to, like, my neck? Also, his hair goes the other way. Hold on. If you are bad, I am your dad. Oh, baby. Hold on. Can I... Oh, this feels weird. This is the worst part of trying to pretend that I'm him in any way. Oh, gross. Gross. Ooh. Oh, no. Is that it? Did I do it? Need a few more kilos in the neck. All right, I'll work on that next time. Blaine and Jeff are freaking hair fell out. Most definitely related. Probably drink the same water as well. Holy shit, that's awful. Yeah. Oh man, Jeff is a neckbeard.
Fuck, I guess I just did. Still, that camp is at least shrinking in the modern day, while the 3D CG is ruining anime crowd remains loud and proud, even in the face of overwhelming evidence that it's fine most of the time, actually. So fine, you don't even notice it. And when you do notice it, it makes a lot of anime look substantially better, even. Also, even when it's not better than good 2D animation, it still beats bad 2D animation by several country miles. But I mean, when it's good, Chainsaw Man looks like a fucking movie. And I don't
bad
just mean
anime
like
is
Demon
bad,
Slayer
good
does,
anime is
fancy
good.
Cinematic
Like
post-processing effects applied to TV-style limited animation, though that's quite cool in its own way too.
Asian-looking Blaine is you. I looked Asian there? Whoa, that's a first for me. Usually I get, is your wife Asian? No? Why you go to Japan? I like the country. That's one of my favorite. That is my favorite, like, ignorant comment that I get. And I call it ignorant because it is just like, it comes from a place of ignorance. They don't know why I'd want to go to Japan outside of like potentially my wife having family there. But I love it so much whenever someone's like, so is your wife Japanese? I'm like, nope, no, she's not. But thank you for thinking I'm Asian, I guess, in a gross way. That's cool. I'm glad I got to be the gross kind of Asian. Yay. Oop, I should have put that higher, but I'll leave it there because I put it there. What time in your country? Almost 8 o'clock at night. Good is better than bad, and bad is wrong. We will call it badong. It's such a lame way to try to communicate as to what the potential sticking points are for people who like or don't like a certain type of show, right? Do 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 do. And then your freaking wall here. I wonder if I can do this. Can I do this with all of these? I bet you I can, actually. I'll find a way. I may have to raise those up one, but I'll work on that later. For now, I just wanted to get them down here so I can work on it otherwise. Is your wife Asian? No. One Piece CGI was fine. She's Asian though, right? No. You can literally go see us at youtube.com/Blaine and Katie, where we talk about all of our trips to Japan. And she's not Asian. Looks like a movie. Jeff is showing his MCU Kuma brain there. That's true. You speak bad words in the stream. I do speak bad words. This is an adults only YouTube channel. It was not fine, Pop. Ooh, fight. Goddamn right we say bad words here, bucko. Japan will be the 51st state when my master plan comes together. Good. You do think some people overly hate on CGI. It's like anything else. CGI has been used since the 80s with Golgo 13. It was the first ever use of CGI in anime, and it was basically these blocky helicopters that flew in to fight Golgo. And they looked awful. They looked like they were something out of Reboot, but worse. They were just god awful. But we've been using computers to augment and make anime better since. I wouldn't be surprised if there was technically some amount of computer assistance in something like Akira. I know there was in the original Evangelion, so even back in the 90s we were doing it. The problem only comes in when CGI is used as a cheap shortcut, right? Switching to a CG model because you made the model and now it's easier to animate those sequences. That's when CGI becomes a problem. If you do a CGI show and it just looks bad, like Exception on Netflix this season, it just looks bad. I don't really like the way it looks, but I'm not mad that it's CG. I'm just mad that it looks bad, right? I'm not a huge fan of Ping Pong the animation because it looks funky, right? And that's drawn. So it has nothing to do with whether or not it's drawn or CG. It just has to do whether or not I like the look or not, right? So some people do put too much stock in the fact that it's CG. But one thing that can come across when CG is used in a heavy-handed way is when the CG elements contrast with the animated elements. There is one way to do that well, and that's if your CG elements are expressly used for monsters or giant robots or something else. The idea being that your animated people are supposed to be other people. They're like us. We're supposed to think of them as just other humans. And then if you have something that's otherworldly, like a monster or a giant robot, something like that, Appleseed, some mech shows have been doing this forever. Gonzo did it a ton. The mech being CG helps it look, because you're like, that's a big ass robot. And your brain is like, wow, that's a very different thing in the world. So it helps make it feel like a very different thing. So it can be done in a way that works well and actually adds to what's happening. But then you get stuff like Kino's journey, where Kino is walking around and then throws her leg over her motorcycle. And as soon as her leg's over her motorcycle, her and her motorcycle are swapped out for a CG model that then just action figures away. And the action figuring is a really weird looking thing. And it's like, you can just draw a picture and then just shake it. You know, we don't need good animation every single drawn scene. You could just shake a drawn thing so that it's consistent in the world. Conversely, something like Skeleton Knight in Another World has really good back and forth with the CG because of the way that the main character's armor looks. You can very easily transition to a CG model without it being too crazy. Meanwhile, his elf friend, her transition to and from CG is very bad. I wish they never transitioned her to CG. But he can go back and forth because of the way that his model is built. Very, very seamlessly. Oh, boo boo boo. They exist in another CPU far away from virtual waifu. Katie's an Asian name? According to who? You also spelled it wrong. You're still correct. I'm guessing the good, bad thing. Nico, I don't mind CGI, but make the whole show CGI or don't overuse it. So he had an Asian wife? No? Katie's one of them Latinx names. You're still spelling it wrong. It's EY. You'll never find our channel if you search for an IE. It's Blaine. You know how to spell my escape corner, obviously. And Katie, Katey. CGI can look good, like in Chainsaw Man. That's the punchline. Got it. Is she no longer Asian because of the accident? Yes, the accident that opened her eyeballs. Chat dies when Blaine rants. Everyone is typing their rebuttal essay. Well, at least I didn't have too much to catch up on with you guys going to town on all that. I'm gonna get all this cooking here. I gotta cook. So the flint over here. Got it, Katie. I'll look for you and your ebony wife. No. Ebony wife. I've posted this link before, but here, this should be. There. That's the channel we used to do together. Blaine doesn't have an Asian wife. He just have a Japanese side piece in Kyoto. I hope not. I've only been to Kyoto twice. What? Hold on. 1, 2. Yeah, I've only been to Kyoto twice, so be weird. That'd be weird. I got a side piece. I've only seen twice in my life. The Asian lady behind me? No, not a wife. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh man, you guys are goofy.
But Chainsaw Man is animated like a full budget, made for cinema anime movie with a level of polish, weighty, realistic motion, and complexity in shot.
Why Blaine's so gay in that YouTube channel banner? What the fuck is that hairdo? Wait. Oh, that's my. I just go in and the little Vietnamese lady just shaves the sides of my head off. So I get just the straight up shave, and then she brings this the top part down to about 2 inches. If it was any different, it would be a small lad from a country in Europe, but it's not. It's not that haircut.
Shot composition comparable to, if not quite the works of Makoto Shinkai, then at least one of the higher budget studios biting his style. And Chainsaw Man doesn't bite
Makoto
anyone's
Shinkai
style.
in this?
It creates its own, drawing on the same filmic influences as the original manga to.
Did he just say filmic influences? I don't think that's a word, bro. Yes, the filmic influences. Oh, man. Not gonna lie, I looked in the mirror earlier. You had a Gyadu haircut. Was kind of nuts. Oh, that's good.
Emulate the cinematography and editing sensibilities of Hollywood legends like Quentin Tarantino, Sam Raimi, and David Lynch. It's not just one of the most...
It's a lesbian camp coach haircut. Yep. Yes, it is.
Visually arresting anime ever put on television. It's visually arresting in a very specific way that supports the tone and subtext of the original narrative perfectly and allows the anime to match the manga pound for pound, if not in terms of Fujimoto's subtle directorial genius, then at least his messily violent artwork's horrifically specific details. And just like Makoto...
She gave me the Ho Chi Minh Youth. Oh, why did I stop thumbnails? Just wondering. Tired of it. It's like you gotta like think about what you talked about in the episode, add take a cut of your face, put it on there. Like it doesn't take much time, but it's enough extra time that it's just like, nah, I don't really need to do that. And like the live streams themselves, they don't get replay. Now you know, oh, with a better thumbnail, they would get replayability. It's like, yeah, I mean, live streams just in general on YouTube don't get a lot of replayability. So I'm not going to put a bunch of effort into something that's just going to end up with not meaning too much in the end of the channel. So, you know, figure out where to put effort and put effort there. And it just wasn't the place that I figured I should put effort. Another CSM simp. What in the hell? What in the hell? Shut up, Pop. Let me enjoy things. I'm taking this as a personal attack. You enjoy. I hope you enjoy it forever. I hope it never gets dull to you. I hope you're able to keep it as a part of your life and joy forever. And that you can always look back and think, you know what? What the heck is going on here? Is this step? Oh, that step stops me. Interesting. That you can always look back and say, I love the Shinsamen. I shoveled that pumpkin, I know. Eat it. Eat a dick. I'm shoveling pumpkins over here. Alright. Getting all that. Hello, kitty cat. What is going on? Brandon! Jeff knows a thing about pound for pound, am I right? Live a little, but not much. Live get a little, but not much replayability. That is true. Hope all is well. Yeah, that's why I need to do highlights if I want to actually get some growth. The shorts are useful. The shorts have been helping with some growth, and they're pretty easy to make, so I don't have to worry about anything with those. I just go click, 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 and they're done. I've got a couple in the pipe. And the pipe is my brain. I need to get them on paper, and then I can get them actually done and animated. One going deeper into sort of my my thoughts on lolly in anime and how it can be done correctly and appropriately, and how it can be done not so. Ooh, lapis lazuli. And then the other one is a surprise. Not really that big of a surprise. The other one is on how Urusei Yatsura is like the ideal way to do a remake. Which, if you know anything about me, you'll be like, ah, yeah, that makes sense. I can see Blaine doing those as shows. That makes a lot of sense when you think about the things that Blaine likes. I'm down for that idea. I'm down for that idea, Blaine. I like it. Oh my goodness. Episode 4 of Chainsaw Man reviews tomorrow. That is true. You can catch me and Brandon talking about Chainsaw Man tomorrow. The thoughts of Chainsaw Man are different than the video that was being watched. It's still being watched. It's just being paused. We're gonna get back to Hugh soon enough with his thoughts on thoughts. Remember, Chainsaw Man go burr. Exactly, he does. Even if it's a 6-inch burr, he still goes burr. You enjoy DBZ even though it's overrated. Yeah, that's why nothing that I say should stop you from liking something if you like it. What I hope occurs is that you potentially look at it and say, okay, someone else doesn't like thing I like. Why? And you sort of have like a critical thought process with what it is you enjoy, and you're not stuck in a I like because it likable or it a thing people like, and that you sort of like figure out for yourself why you think a thing is good. Because I think that's the important part of the brain. You know, you don't need to write an essay on it. You don't need to be a Serranos. You don't need to be like, here's everything I think about the thing and how it's good. That's fantastic. If you can actually put your thoughts into enough words that you can like craft a, essay about it, awesome. It doesn't have to do that though. So don't feel like you have to be able to like fully defend everything you have in like a full essay format. But just having some idea of like, I like this and here's the why that I like this. I think that's important. Urusei Yatsura is now the gold standard for retelling of a story. It's true. Blaine making sense seems legit. Had to correct that pipe statement. Any new viewers from Shorts? I've gotten new subscribers from Shorts. I don't think I've had a new viewer from who's been like, I saw you in the Shorts or anything like that. So we'll see. Had to correct that pipe statement. Yep. Got to shorten a video ready for tomorrow. Oh my goodness. I missed a few. I'm skipping. Sorry, everybody. Chatting too much. What's the link to the Lolly commentary video? I need to go comment my Karen comment. It's in my head brain, so I'll send. Everyone will know when it comes out. More spoilers for Chainsaw Man. Over under 3 times tomorrow. Blaine mentions he hates the manga. Actually, I think you'll be surprised because if we think back to Blaine's manga reviews, this is the point when I enjoyed the manga because we had just seen the Bat and we had given Chainsaw Man a weakness, right? It was like, ooh, there's potential here. This is the point where I was actually into it. So, spoiler for your spoiler, that's not what happens in tomorrow's episode. Spoiler for Chainsaw Man, it's still good. It's not spoilers if you read the manga. You like because it's shiny new thing. Everyone fights, no one quits. You mean you don't have to melt down when someone doesn't like the same thing as you? That's crazy talk. I know, it's insane. You don't have to destroy your YouTube account just because someone else. You're like, I'm gonna leave Twitter. I'm gonna leave YouTube. Read your funny. Only sheep watch stuff because it's popular with other people. I would say only sheep can't explain what they like about a thing because there are times where you're like, oh, this thing is super popular. I'm going to watch it and see what's the hype, right? Why is everybody like this? There are that would be a reason to watch. And then if you watch it, you then have to critically think about, do I like this and why? If not, don't be at Serrano's, be normal. You should be able to figure out what motivates you. You would be surprised how many people in the world can't. Like the number of people that can't figure out what motivates them is mind-blowing. It really is. But it's only mind-blowing because I know what motivates me. Because I was able to figure that out. Like, oh, I know what motivates me and I know how I can buckle down and get something solved or figure out why I enjoy following something. I've done that sort of reflection, so it makes sense to me. There's people who never even think about that and figuring out what motivates them just never comes in their brain. It's all otherwise democracy will fall. Oh, speaking of democracy, I will be on Flawed Man of God is doing an election watch. So if you care at all about elections in America, which I guess I do. I will be on his channel sort of reacting starting at 4:00 Pacific time, 7:00 Eastern time over on Flawed Man of God. So I'll be doing that before I come over here. You say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at the rest of the chat and you can see that statement is not true. You might start uploading Serrano's thoughts onto YouTube. That was my plan. I was going to steal Serrano's thoughts and just have at the end written by Serrano's. Oh my goodness. Spoilers. What spoilers? Wait, what spoilers? Blaine just raw dogging my ears with spoilers without any Gundam lube. Wait, are you talking about Chainsaw Man? Is that what it did? What kind of places? Democracy fell due to the spoilers. I'm a genetic freak. That means your 50-50 chance is now a 25% chance is best. Normal is a relative term. Lay off, man. You're not gay. You take too much interest in politics. Oh man, I am opposite there. I take barely any interest in the politicals. Only in so much as it's like important for me to pay attention to. Aw shucks, Blaine, I'm planning on watching Styx election stream. Do it. Styx Hexenhammer is he's a good guy. He's a good like follower of information. So do it. I will never feel bad if you don't watch me rambling about election crap and you go watch somebody with better qualifications. But if you want to see a guy ramble about some election crap who has like only the littlest amount of knowledge about what he's saying, I'll be here. Oh yeah, because Stuart bailed on us today. That is true. He bailed. He's like, oh, my voice is gone. Like, why is your voice gone? Quit yelling at your family. Wait, is there a way I can grab everything in like a click without having to click everything? Anyway, you'll be listening to election streams tomorrow, but you'll come and hit like. Leave your phone lurking somewhere. Spoiler, something blew up. Yeah, no one wants to hear me ramble about politics. You don't know that? There might. Oh, I should put this cobblestone down in the basement. I have a bucket full of lava, so that's cool. We should revolt and seize the means of producing YouTube videos under Blaine's Escape Corner channel ID. Maybe. Get to a 7-day ban on Twitter. Sleazy P Martini seems like a wacky character. Can't wait for it. Yeah, the only one I'm seeing reports on right now is the Fetterman one, which I find funny. All right, let's listen to this.
Shinkai's filmography, none of it would be possible, especially not on a TV anime production schedule, without a talented and efficient team of digital and 3D artists working in concert with the 2D team. I mean, Mob Psycho 100 pulls off crazy 3D looking fights on TV with entirely hand-drawn art, but its characters are all extremely simple, easy to animate shapes.
Ooh, Jeff Thu throwing shade, throwing some real shade at the Mob Psycho lovers. Are you kidding me? Ooh, oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Oh man, can't wait to clank at the TYT meltdown. Yeah. I got the ban hammer on Twitter. Oh, you did? Hold on, if I go to your channel. No casualties yet, Burn. You got banned. Damn, leave Mob out of this, mother's cuck. You had the ban hammer come down on you today. Take that, Mob Psycho fans. It's still there when I go. I can still see it. It doesn't have the mark of banning. I don't know if that means something. Are you just like timed out from being able to respond or something? It's like, oh, you can't talk right now. That would be weird. You don't really care about CG, but who's this Mother's Basement? Oh man, I'm so glad you don't know who Mother's Basement is. Mother's Basement got very famous on YouTube as an anime tuber back in the day because he had like a 3-hour or longer breakdown of why Sword Art Online was a bad anime. And it sort of became like this cultural zeitgeist of everybody like, yeah, Sword Art's not great. And it was like, not great doesn't mean it's bad. Like it's just a show. It's just a normal like hype shonen isekai show. I don't see why everybody's panicking about it. But he got to sort of run off of that sort of fandom of being the guy that made the big video that everybody had watched about why a thing wasn't that great. And then he has a whole series on what's in an OP where he breaks down intros to like intro openings of anime, talks about the music, talks about the animation, talks about how they spoil things without spoiling them, all this kind of stuff, which you watch one and you're like, You know, I can watch an OP myself. Like, I don't know that you're really adding to it. But yeah, those are his two big calls to femme. Some freedom, that is. It's not a perm ban, just a 7-day. Oh, so you can't post anything then for the next little while, I'm guessing. You glad you don't know Crunchyroll's biggest shill? That is true. He is the biggest shillionaire of the Crunchy world. I'm in the late teen 10s episode of SAO. I'm bored, but I'll make it to the end. CSM has such a great OP song. Well, only on PC. You can still do stuff on your phone. It is weird. That is weird. That is weird.
One guy's head is literally a cube, and Mob is only called Mob because he looks exactly like the simplest possible background character. You can practically animate an entire Mob Psycho fight scene in the same amount of lines and time it would take to hand draw a full detail manga accurate Chainsaw Man head turning around slightly, let alone his entire body plus a whole crowd of zombies. But if you simplify the designs too much...
Huh. That... That seems a little too far. Like, that seems like a bridge too far. Am I crazy here? It's like, hey man, leave Mob alone. What did Mob do to you? Why are you hating on Mob? Mob's too simple to be animated properly because the full drawing of Mob is like the and just the chain of the Chainsaw Man spinning around, and it'd be so easy to redo and animate because it's simple. Fucking shut up, bro. Why are you so mean right now? Is he about to disrespect the power end theme? Kill you at a senfu? Guy in Mob cosplay probably fucking Jab's wife. Oh, that was the OnlyFans special edition tier this last month, and he's still salty about it. Oh my goodness. If you hold shift, you can stack chests. Got it.
For greater fluidity.
Oh, I know what
risk
you're saying.
Ruining
Okay.
the tone by making it too cartoony. An issue I've talked about before in my video on the problem with horror anime. And Chainsaw Man isn't just a horror anime, it's a horror action comedy. So it absolutely
what?
needs to be heavily animated to
Should go
work
this
at
way,
all.
right?
To be properly told on a remotely reasonable production schedule, Chainsaw Man's
Spruce.
story needed 3D animation and digital effects, as well as heavy digital 2D animation. And
in order to be told properly, it required 3D animation. Chainsaw Man isn't horror. I'm still trying to figure this one out, though. Hold on. In order for it to be done properly, it required 2D and 3D animation. Like, obviously he just shit on Mob. So, like, if I said, no, because Mob didn't need it, then he'll say, well, Mob's so simple. It's so simple. You can't compare the two because Mob is simple and this is not simple. But that's not, like, you still have to draw lines and characters and maintain the model and have it move in the way you want. The balance, the stretch, all that still has to exist and be cohesive and mobile. You don't just get to say, oh, this thing was so simple. No, that's not how it works. And you can't just say, oh, well, it needed to look like that. No, it didn't need to look like that. You could have had 2 studios work on the same anime using half the time each or double the time each because they can alternate episodes. We know this can be done in a way that functions. And with something as big as Chainsaw Man, it could have easily been produced that way. So don't give me this bullshit of like it had to be. Just asshole. Also, he's comic book guy from The Simpsons. Your middle nephew's doing this stuff by hand on a computer. Hardly easy. Chainsaw Man isn't horror. Watch me do stuff the hard way. Just having a dark tone isn't a horror, moron. You haven't seen Chainsaw Man, but is anyone hating on the Chainsaw Man CGI? I am. I am not a fan of the use of CGI in the first episode of Chainsaw Man. Second episode, third episode, and fourth episode, completely a different story. The second, third, and fourth episodes all follow the Jujutsu Kaisen, use the CG to sort of enhance things, to make it look a little bit better, to fill out some backgrounds. We're panning up from a street, so the people walking on the street are just some CG models, so we're panning past them in less than a second. They really, really look very, very good in episodes 2 through 4. Episode 1 just has a bunch of unnecessary CG that doesn't have to be there, but they put it in there, and it's very jarring and sort of pulls you out like, this looks weird. I don't like the way that looks. The first episode was subpar. Exactly. You think it's been great after that? It's what I just said. Because Japan, that's the answer from now on. Imagine complaining about Chainsaw Man. Couldn't be me. You can't stop on a frame, say the animation is simple. Lol, it's animation because it's moving frames. That's true. Yep, it has its issue. Eat shit, Blaine Boy. Oh man, I hope you have that. Like, I hope that's like your on your clipboard at all times. That's just your control V. You're just you never copy anything else on your computer so that you can always have eat shit, Blaine Boy, just always at the ready. It's anime, not the Titanic. For example, this scene right here that we're looking at, how big can I make this? You have the 2D drawn Chainsaw Man and then the zombie guy, and then the entire background is CG'd and the zombies shuffling around are all CG zombies. And then once they've done the colorizing on this, they then have a CG sort of saw that goes around like effect, and it just looks very strange. And then the Chainsaw Man head in other scenes, not this running scene, so I guess I shouldn't mention it there, but when he cuts people, the blood also has this very specific CG effect to it to make it look very shiny and like blood droppy that is just kind of annoying. CSM CGI is better than Black Panther 1 CGI. Probably. I don't remember Black Panther 1 at all, so there's probably that. You watch on phone, you type each one. Yeah, but Blaine, you got such a level-headed and niche critique. I want to know why the retards on Twitter hate it, lol. Oh, I did go through a Twitter thread on it because I was like, are you guys insane? Because someone posted like a scene and was like the MAPPA management telling the animators to get back to work, and it's like a zombie like chasing after Denji, and there's these people that are like, oh yeah, they could kill him because of all the CG, and then just there was this eruption of people just like shouting past each other because some are saying so much CG, and others saying like there's no CG, and it's like you're both wrong. it's the way it's being used. All right, have a good one, Brandon.
And almost every traditional animation trick in the book, including rotoscoping, with all of those techniques combining to tear down
yes,
almost
rotoscoping, because that's never looked weird.
3D in the show, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want to fixate too much on how Chainsaw Man looks as great as it does, which is, to be clear, so great that anyone who thinks otherwise definitely sold their eyes to the Potato Devil, because this is...
All right. So according to this shill, if you don't think Chainsaw Man is good, visually, you sold your eyes to the potato devil. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I hate that. Hold on. What does this say? Heavy chest ahead. Can I plant this and have it be the same? Heavy chest ahead. Okay. All right, there we go. The potato devil. Listen here, you Irish phobic fuck. He's colorblind phobic too. Eat shit, potato boy. We have a contract with the potato devil. He gives us vodka. We give him bad takes, I guess. I don't know. That's what everybody else seems to think.
This is far from the only anime the CGI haters are wrong about. It's just the one where it's the most blindingly obvious. And I really don't want to put the idea out there that anime...
Is it just me, or is it the fact that he looks the way he does sort of take away from the fact that he should have any idea what other humans' beauty standards are? Is that too mean of me? Is that hitting a little too far below the belt? Is that hitting where the wife does the wife does her OnlyFans? Is that
CG needs to look this good to be acceptable. In fact, I'm personally of the opinion that so long as the computer graphics are facilitating a level or scope of storytelling that an artist or studio couldn't otherwise achieve on schedule and in budget through traditional means, they're justified no matter how rough or dated they end up looking. And I know I probably won't convince most of you to agree with me on that point, but while we're on the subject of how graphics age, it's always been a little weird to me that anime folks bitch so much about 3D anime when in the gaming
just
world,
about right. Okay,
3D
good.
titles that ape the look and feel of anime have, historically speaking, aged the best out of anything in their respective console generations. And presently
That has to do with
3D
stylization
anime
versus
style
how
has quite clearly proven to be
realistic
quite appealing
styles
to the
are
many players of Genshin Impact who love looking at that dang game so dang much, specifically its 3D anime style character.
That seems kind of dishonest. The fact that a 3D game can look good because of the way that it's made in 3D has nothing to do with the fact that like anime can look bad in 3D. Like that just seems very, very like stupid of a statement. Oh, it's good because people like Genshin Impact. People like Genshin Impact because of the fact that it's like stylized and everything in that sort of anime aesthetic, but they don't like that look when it comes to actual animation. It's very, very different set of tastes that we're talking about here. And the reason that like anime styling in video games is so persistent over time compared to the like realistic quote unquote styling of some games is that when you do realistic styling of video games, you're comparing it to a human being. And when you do the artsy sort of anime style, you're comparing it to anime and art and sort of like a design ethos. So you can have it look in a very, very different way from reality. Whereas we compare other things to reality. Like when you think about like obviously we immediately know that the original like Metal Gear Solid was freaking potato vision, but I remember that game looking amazing. I remember Enter the Matrix on the computer looking amazing, but it's not, because when you go back they're trying to replicate people, and replicating people is very, very difficult, and so we have a static reference point, whereas like the anime style is much closer to like the gamey style, the CG look. Okay, this will be better. Do this. Do. Has this mofo seen the animation of Fate Zero? That was in 2011. That's true. Speaking of OPs, we had some good bangers this year for a end of year top list. Okay. I'm gonna have to I'll think about it. I'll think about putting something like that together. Heavy chest ahead, baby. Remember when you nuked the dock? That was fun. Yeah, remember when I had to rebuild the dock? That wasn't fun. Now I'm like rebuilding this whole freaking area. But I needed more lantern. A ton of people love Xenoblade 2, but the animation is awful.
That the Genshin Impact team made over $1 billion in just its first 7 months on gacha pulls for those characters. And hey, what a coincidence! I just remembered they used some of them dollars to sponsor this very video and have me tell you about another extremely pretty thing they made. Lovable as its huge and goofy cast of characters is, the biggest draw in—
We all knew the shill was coming, but we didn't know when. Caught unaware, here we are, stuck in his damn review. Genshin Impact! This is your... Of course. Rebuilding's not the word you would use. It's the word you'll use eventually.
Genshin Impact, literally and figuratively, is its breathtakingly vast sandbox world. And Genshin's new YouTube short, Scenery and Sentiment Mondstadt Edition, captures the wonder and enchantment of the traveler's first steps into that world, from the starting beach to Storm Terror's lair, in gorgeously hand-painted traditional
I forgot
animation,
already. What is the...
which does have an undeniable magic to it that 3D can't quite capture, especially
Spruce.
when the animators put this much love into making those richly...
So if everybody loves the 3D styling of Genshin Impact, why are they doing the hand-painted styling for their anime? You just tore up the whole hillside. Yeah, I'm about to refresh the design. Okay, so I like the lanterns leading up. This one's gonna have to move. And we'll come up and we'll come back down. Do I have spruce over here though? I think I want a lantern here, but I don't know where this is gonna come up to yet. Let's see if I've got spruce, and then I'll worry about that in a minute here. Raven Consort has a banger OP.
Detailed,
I skipped it the first time because I always skip it on first episodes.
From blowing clouds and billowing
check it
smoke
out.
to syrup dripping down the edge of a steaming stack of pancakes to water splashing and rippling and leaves blowing in the wind. As someone who grew up always knowing which rocks Goku was about to blow up, seeing such gorgeous paintings brought so seamlessly and thoroughly to life just makes my jaw drop. And the cohesive tangibility of the world in turn makes the subtle magic that occurs within it feel oddly natural and very convincing. The short's so full of tiny animation flourishes that you can watch it a dozen times over and still pick up on something new, and it's so cozy and nostalgic that you'll want to. It really makes me wonder what other parts of Tevat might look like in this style, but for now, you can take your sentimental tour of scenic Mondstadt at the link below. You know, writing that ad spot actually helped a bit with my unbridled rage at the other side of this issue by reminding me why I myself used to be a 3D anime hater. That magic intrinsic to traditional animation.
Why does that change the
of
ground?
Seeing real ink and paint moving on real paper, or at least scans of real ink and paint
Huh.
is lost with the overuse of CGI. And cell shading, even really good cell shading, doesn't magically bring it back. Now, that kind of 3D trickery is a magic of its own, as anyone who knows the first thing about computer graphics or 3D modeling can tell you. But you
Let me guess. He doesn't know the first thing about computer graphics or 3D modeling. He probably only read about it on like Twitter when someone complained about it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he read a Substack. Who knows? Maybe he's one of those people. But, like, I like Dodo Hey Dodo. It was a really fun show. I would have liked it better if it was drawn. It being CG was very, very wonky. His jaw also drops when he's gonna inhale a whole ham. Oh man, pop punching hard today. Perfect. I need to make a Okay, so I'm listening to a guy talk about anime while watching someone play Minecraft while I'm playing a game. This is the world we live in. I need to make like a tree farm that I can actually harvest from without making the grass all weird. Why does this look so weird? You're still playing Against the Storm, nice. Doro the Monster Samurai Show? No, that's Dororo. So Dororo is the samurai trying to get his body back. Doro Hey Doro is lizard-faced guy trying to get his human face back. Very different show. Rather enjoy it, but it is definitely not the other. Ooh, maybe that I'll do dirt pathing up to the doors. Oh, maybe I've got something for the dirt, baby. Dirt. Okay, so dirt come down, and then dirt. Like this should be the. Why are these not the same height? Oh, hello. Hello, big tree. Tree farm, trees are dangerous to our health. We call the Widowmakers destroy all trees. Yeah, you like the gore? Yeah, Dorohedoro is a fantastic.
Do need to know that first thing to fully appreciate the tricks, whereas the wonder of a drawing come to life is intuitive and universal. Not that you can't achieve it with CGI.
So only
Lots
people
of anime do
who
all the time, like every season, because pretty much every anime background nowadays, even if it is hand-drawn, was drawn on a computer, and a lot of them are just 3D CG renders mimicking the look of watercolors or markers or oil paint, which they do so well that a lot of people don't even notice unless the camera starts moving through them. But to be fair, it is the noticeable CGI that the haters mainly hate on. The reason that I would guess a lot of you got into anime in the first place is I fell in love with that classic.
Is he playing the I know enough about CG that I understand why it looks good card? Is that what I just heard here? You just don't understand how good the CG is. I do. Doesn't mean I like it. He's also about to strawman my position. My position is not that I fell in love with standard animation, and that's why I love anime. I love anime because the worlds can be whatever they want. Like there is no rule for what your limits are in an anime world. It can be anything. Nice weird dirt loser. Yeah, isn't it strange? Why does the spruce make my dirt look funny?
2D magic when I was young, and found myself increasingly disappointed with all the extremely early 3D and Flash-style cartoons coming out of America as I was growing up. So maybe it was only natural that seeing those CG elements.
Ooh, if he's comparing animation to animation, then the reason that I prefer Japanese anime is because in Japan, anime is just a medium, and they have plenty of adult-themed series that aren't just like sexual in nature. Whereas in America, any adult cartoon tends to be just, oh, it has boobies in it, and it's like, yeah, there's more to like adult themes than just booby. I'm a fan, but you know, maybe we can actually just tackle topics that aren't kiddie topics. Leave Kappa Mikey out of this, Jeff Cook. No, not Kappa Mikey. Oh no, am I filled up? I filled up on the. Get this weird dirt out of here. I'm gonna just keep digging this weird dirt out. You don't watch it for the syscons? No, I don't.
Elements creeping their way into
That's
the background.
very weird to
this
me.
Last bastion for the traditional process would be met with such a strong pushback, especially considering how obvious it was that most of these studios were still figuring out how to make a lot of this stuff work at the time. As a Canadian, I can only imagine how jarring it must have been for American otaku my age, getting to enjoy the full hand-drawn beauty of titles like Cowboy Bebop on TV when they were still fresh, only to see Adult Swim and Toonami's lineups shift towards shows like Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex and IGPX. Only Cowboy Bebop also had CGI in it. Quite a lot for the time, actually. Like, every time the Bebop goes through an astral gate or orbits a planet, it's there.
Yep.
And it looks fucking sick. The series' portrayal of life in space wouldn't be half as convincing without it. And you know what? The standalone complex opening looks sick too. The anime.
Okay, no. You can't say something true and then follow it up with something objectively false. The standalone complex opening is passable. Your guy's Canadian? Excuse me while I go cross-checking with your hockey stick. Oh. Like, I love standalone complex. The Tachikomas are some of the best CG at the time. But the intro was a music video. Like, it was a goofy looking CG thing.
Animation is so good, especially on the Tachikomas. And the only part of the graphics that really feels dated at all is a few improperly aliased Jaggies. The lighting and shading effects still hold up 2 decades later because they went for their own exaggerated style instead of trying to perfectly emulate either reality or traditional anime. The cityscape is utterly stunning, and even the Major's character model manages to stay mostly out of the uncanny valley.
It feels like
some of the motion
PS2.
capture does drag her back into it. But, like, look at her face. Look at her hair.
Oh, hello,
they
water.
made this in 2002. You know what Pixar was doing in 2002? Hiding their first marginally acceptable human character inside a Halloween costume for most of a movie because she still really did not stand up to scrutiny. And you know what else looks sick?
Why are you...
IGPX, mostly. Yeah, sometimes it looks like the characters are walking around an early Myst-style FMV game, and sure, you sure can tell they animated and rendered these mechs in 2005, but the sense of blistering momentum that even those dated graphics convey in motion is undeniable. The races feel intense and visceral, putting you right there in the thick of the action in a way that simply wouldn't be feasible with any other kind of animation. Not without the time and money.
What? Sack is cool just like the song recently. Wow, fuck this guy for going after Monsters Inc. Yeah. What like Pixar does great, people. They always do that funny stylized thing. Code Lyoko did it better. I mean, they looked to be on similar levels.
Money to make another Akira anyway, and yeah, as someone who loves looking at Akira, it does kind of suck that they'll never make any more Akiras, that the existence of this much more efficient technology all but guarantees that nobody will ever again spend that much time and money on consecutive hand-painted cells. But if the trade-off for that
what are you doing here?
Any anime studio can now tell stories with the same energy and sense of cinematic style as Akira on television, I'm inclined to think that's worth it. And that's without even taking into account all the new visual possibilities that CGI has opened up for animators. Like, they legitimately could not have made Cowboy Bebop without it. And there are countless other classic anime that simply could not have been made without the aid of computers. For example, Akira. Not only are the fancy rainbow colors and Dr. Onishi's pattern indicator computer generated, but 3D software was used to tweak lighting effects throughout the...
What is he doing? What is that guy doing? He grabbed a dirt block and now he's stuck in the house. Can I kill him? You got the Akira manga and movie, still my #1 currently. Nice. See, I knew it. I knew they would call out Akira as being like, actually this one is animated. Because of course it is. Or this one has CG or whatever. That's how all of this works. It's like everything you think, you're like, oh, is this CG? It's like, maybe. I'll put that iron nugget there for a second. Because they've been using CG to help make things look better forever, which is why it's always so frustrating when something doesn't look better. Because they've been doing this forever. Why does it not look better? Okay. Oh, Jeebles. Why he do this? Feels like an F round and find out moment for Blaine. Nah, he's just moving around. He's okay. He's all right. He can hang out. He's cool, man. He's cool. He can hang out. It's all right, man. You leave me alone, please. I don't want to do it anymore. Please. I don't want to do it. Is he gone? Okay, good. Pew, 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 pew.
The film, pre-visualize the parallax backgrounds, and even calculate the trajectory of falling objects in some of the more complicated destruction shots. So when Katsuhiro Otomo fully embraced CGI for Steam Boy, it wasn't the deviation from Akira's legacy.
Steam Boy was a weird one, though. Can we all agree?
Some make it out to be, but the logical next step of the processes that made that movie possible. Using computers to achieve a scale of both destruction and mechanical complexity that not even the most expensive piece of traditional animation in history could match. Because there are some things that 3D CG just does better. Complex mechanical animations being a prime example, since they're often...
No idea what Steam Boy is? What? Blaine's gonna let off some steam in the chicken farm? Yeah, probably. I got enough chicken, though. You're wondering why they never made an animated series of Mortal Kombat? Yeah, that's a good point. Steam Boy is a very interesting show. I remember at the time feeling like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. It's gonna be like a Ghibli. But then it's not a Ghibli. Like, it's not a Ghibli at all. And it ends up being a much more serious, like, turn of the century. Steam is the power, and now we've got to make Steam a better power. It's a pretty good show overall, but not like, or movie, I guess I should say. But it was very weird going into it expecting like a Ghibli, but then getting a Steam Boy. I do love his like he's got one of those like big one wheel motorcycle things that like the wheel goes around him. That was cool. You watched Steam Boy earlier in the year. Nice.
Extremely fiddly and intricate, and don't benefit nearly as much as other kinds of animation from the organic feel of traditional techniques. Now, don't get me wrong on this. Hand-drawn mechanical animation is one of my favorite things in the world. Laputa's my favorite Ghibli deal. I could make an entire video about the spaceships in Cowboy Bebop and all their fiddly little panels. And I love the
That's what you thought going into it? Yeah. There's something about it. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
So damn much. But I also love the hyper-complex transformation.
Oh, God, would you shut up for 2 seconds? You're like, I'm gonna watch a fun, like, family show about Steam. And then you're like, I don't think this is a fun show about Steam anymore. It's a very, very different story after a while. Boop, boop, boop. Should I have the dock, like a dock here that then has a little step? Should we do a little step up here? Probably, right?
Sequences of Gundam Unicorn just as much, and the massive chaotic ground battles of '86, the insanely intricate pachinko mechanics of the Bog from Kaiji, and of course the delicately detailed steampunk machinery of Steam Boy and Last Exile and Drifting Dragons, and especially Appare Ranman, which blends those qualities with a cowboy wacky races take on the high-octane 3D vehicular action pioneered by Initial D. As an original anime concept, I don't think Appare Ranman would have even made it past the pitch phase without the 3D CG technology to back it up. And not just because that tech makes the concept more feasible. Unless you have the time and money and insanely unique creative vision to make another Redline, CGI will always do high-speed vehicle shenanigans better. Even the most ancient and crusty shots.
Does it? I love Initial D, but I know that those CG scenes look like a kid playing with toys. So until the CG looks like I'm playing Gran Turismo, no, we're not gonna say, oh, I need the CG in this. Oh, that works. Okay. Pop. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Do 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 boop boo boo. I don't know why I like this open, but I do. I should probably torch it, shouldn't I, so that I don't get monsters in there.
From season 1 of Initial D still convey a more convincing sense of speed and weight than 95% of anime that try to do races or car chases traditionally. And the bottom of the barrel for 2D animated cars is so much lower than even X-Arm could manage. Of course, this strength of 3D isn't just limited to motor-based racing, and with strong enough art direction, you don't even need to use really high-end modern CGI to achieve that effect of speed and make your show look good even today. Skate the Infinity uses a Mode 7-esque 2.5D rendering style reminiscent of the original Initial D to depict its crazy downhill jam track, and it both looks and feels fucking awesome.
It is pretty good.
It also happens to be the first anime of its kind, because before CGI, making animated skateboarding feel good at all for the length of an entire series was just economically impractical. And we're still just skimming along the surface of how CGI can enhance anime's action potential. The sky is the limit with this.
Oh, the sky's the limit.
Literally. I mean, Would Attack on Titan be the mega hit it is today, or even work conceptually at all if its soaring maneuverable gear action scenes had to be confined to the characters swinging through mostly static hand-drawn backgrounds? If it couldn't use those sweeping camera shots?
The problem with this is the argument that it has to be either the anime, like the drawn anime in a static format, or it can be fully realized CG anime. And it's just like, you can't just assume that the 2D is going to be worse when it comes to mobile shots or like panning shots or anything like this. Is it more difficult? Sure, it is. It is far more difficult to do panning shots and the like in 2D drawings, because you have to be redrawing the entire perspective rather than just, you know, flicking a button that moves your camera around. But that doesn't make it the bad. Okay, here. Dun. Whoops. Let me dig this out. Put dirt there. Okay. Okay, but then this one. Actually, maybe I should bring this all the way out so it is like a wall. You have to come up here. No, this one's too low. Am I hearing a bee? Is that a buzz? You could CGI the harpoons in AOT. Oh yeah, he's picking on initial D now. Yeah,
To convey the sheer enormity of beasts like the Colossal Titan. What would Demon Slayer be without the flowing kinetic feel of its sword fights? Would Kaiji's steel beam crossing be half as tense without the sense of vertigo conveyed by those 3D backgrounds? What about Reg and Rico's perilous descent into the abyss? Hell, even as janky and dated as they can be, can you honestly say that Last Exile would be improved by removing or simplifying its dogfights? Now, a counter-argument you often hear from purists when praising those aspects of a 3D enhanced anime is, oh, that's just brain-dead spectacle. It doesn't really add anything to the story. And that's wrong for a lot of reasons. Action is one of our most vital and versatile visual storytelling tools. But even if you want to pretend it's a valid point, it's also a very easy one to dismantle on its own terms.
How?
Just look at the only season of The Promised Neverland and the way it uses fully 3D environments to convey narrative tension with POV, panning, and tracking shots and other kinds of normally live-action exclusive cinematography. CGI has drastically expanded the vocabulary of cinematic language that anime can employ, especially on a TV schedule and budget. And we can see this in action in just about every great modern anime, thriller, or drama.
Sports, you're gonna dip. All right, have fun. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Be safe. Don't take chances. And if you do take chances, make sure they're worth it. That's such a stupid argument. Like, I don't even know if I need to like say anything about it, because it's like, again, it's that good is good, bad is bad kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, we get it. Good, good, bad, bad. But what make good good and what make bad bad? When is good bad and when is bad bad? You know, like we can't, I don't know. It feels like such a waste of his breath to even say any of this sometimes. Oh, I need more. I need more of those. Yeah. One, two. I need to do one more up. And then one more over.
From Psycho-Pass to Erased and stretching all the way back to the undisputed king of the genre, Monster, circa 2004. There are countless examples of great anime stories that wouldn't be nearly as great without their 3D elements. And even with all of the examples I've just listed, we're still just scratching the surface by focusing on CGI realism and the emulation of 2D techniques. When anime uses this tech to explore the surreal, from the ethereal dream worlds of id Invaded to the bizarre shitposts of Pop Team Epic to the horrifying nightmare labyrinths in which Madoka Magica's witches hide, we can glimpse a realm of truly infinite visual possibilities. And indeed,
we get
Madoka's
those same
studio,
infinite
Shaft,
visual possibilities
has built an
if it's
incredibly
good.
strong visual brand by exploring those possibilities, by leaning into the jarring juxtaposition between hand-drawn and digital assets and effects to create some of the most striking shots and scenes and entire series in the entire medium. While Masaaki Yuasa's Science Saru has concerned itself a little more with exploring the possibilities of digital 2D animation, you can absolutely say the same for them. And what millennial anime fan can forget their first look at Mamoru Hosoda's clean and colorful vision of cyberspace? And it's important to understand none of this
Mamoru
is new.
Hosoda?
The potential of abstract 3D imagery has been understood by Japanese animators as far back as the second ever use of CGI in anime, 1984's Lensman, which uses most of its CGI
Talk
in
about
an
the first one.
Tron-inspired dream sequence as our hero endures a psychic attack from the pure energy.
Talk about the original
wireframe
CG.
villain.
Do
I'd
it.
be lying
I dare
if
you.
I said these effects have aged completely gracefully, but compared to the first ever use of CGI,
Yeah, there it is.
the helicopters from Golgo 13 just 1 year prior.
I love those stupid helicopters. Oh, they're so dumb. Who was like, hey, we got this new tech. It'll make the scene look way better. Oh, really? Cool. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Here, what do you think? Oh, they're so bad. Oh, they're just so awful. That looks like shit. Yeah, no, it's awful.
The difference is night and day. And it's not a difference of technology. It's a difference of artistic vision and implementation. From its
Hold on. Not a difference of technology. When was that Golgo 13? First CG in anime. That was like 1983. Best computer from 1983. Apple released the Lisa computer on January 19th, 1983. All right, what did Apple put in the Lisa? Here we go. The Apple Lisa computer. It was a Macintosh 128. Wait. It directly preceded the first Mac. The Lisa, here we go. The Lisa computer used protected memory, preemptive multitasking, and a hard disk drive, and supported up to 2 megabits of RAM. Some of these features were extremely advanced for the time. For instance, the protected memory did not appear in Mac OS until the early 2000s. Sold about 100 units. Wait, tell me more about this thing. Apple Lisa tech specs. Here we go. The Apple Lisa. Whoo, baby. All right, this computer cost 10 grand, equivalent to 30 grand in 2021 money. It had a 5 megahertz processor. Oh man. It had 1 mega RAM, 16 kilobytes of boot ROM, 12-inch display. You're telling me that it's not the tech that changed, but the people. Okay, yeah, people can do more with tech, but they also have better tech to do it on. This is just a stupid thing to say.
Very inception. The problem with this stuff has never been that this style of animation is just inherently bad, but rather that a lot of the people working with it haven't fully understood how to play to its strengths and against its weaknesses. And from the very beginning, many of 3D animation tech's most ardent critics haven't seen that because they understand those things even less. The first trope entry on Steam Boy's TV Tropes page reads,
That's what he's
2D
saying.
visuals, 3D effects. The film relies heavily on digital animation for vehicles, matte paintings, and complex animation sequences. Given that this was early 2000s era CGI, it's an element of the film that hasn't aged well the more time passes. And all I can say to that is, yes, it has. Fucking look at it. Why would you say that? This is what poorly aged CGI from that era looks like. I mean, in researching this video, I've seen people complain that the 3D camera movement in Steam Boy is too jittery because they frame matched it to the characters who are animated on 2s, but not doing that is why Handshakers makes everyone who watches it want to vomit. The Promised Neverland, made in 2019, 15 years after Steam Boy, does the exact same thing with its 3D shots because that's the established best practice for 2D, 3D compositing, which Steam Boy specifically helped to establish during its 10 years in development hell, along with just about every other best practice for this stuff. And to dismiss all that work, that artistry, and downplay their achievements when actually you just don't know what you're talking about and are hating for no reason is incredibly shitty. As I think I've more than thoroughly proven at this point, anime CGI can and often does look great. And that's been true for literally decades. We've all just been hating. Though one area where we have all still legitimately been waiting for 3D to catch up to 2D is, of course, with fully 3D anime characters who just never quite look right, you know? From anime's first true bite of the 3D CG forbidden fruit with Appleseed to modern day sins like Berserk 2016, there are countless examples of polygonal horror mannequins masquerading as anime cells and ruining everything. Even countlesser if you count the ones in the backgrounds of the equally countless B-tier flavor of the season light novel things.
Look at all those little models.
Said, like CGI backgrounds, CGI background characters can also be made virtually indistinguishable from hand-drawn assets with good placement and compositing.
What's up, bros?
And there's
Why
lots
you down
of
there? Why you always so low?
flavor of the year anime that use them so well you don't even notice half the time. Fact is, in 2022, fugly 3D background characters come entirely down to bad implementation on the part of individual studios, not inherently bad technology. And the same goes for fugly 3D foreground characters, at least since 2017 through 2019.
Is that his argument, that it's not the tech, it's the people?
The Spider-Verse and Beastars collectively figured out how to make hand-drawn effect CGI look every bit as magical as the practical ink and paper illusions that inspired it. Not the same kind of magic.
Alrighty, Pop. You have a good one.
But CGI's own distinct kind that takes advantage of the strengths of both mediums. Though, actually, a lot of that had already been figured out by Daisuke Ishiwatari's team at Arc System Works for their
Studio
fighting game
Orange.
Guilty Gear Ixard sign all the way back in 2014, which looked so good it...
When did Studio Orange make Hoseki no Kuni? Land of the Lustrous Gems. 2017, got it. He's dumb, yeah. How much more dumb do we have?
Making not just the best ever Dragon Ball fighting game,
five
but
more
helping
dumb
with
minutes.
CGI for the Super Broly Dragon Ball movie, which also looked very good and came out in 2018. And I think they deserve some of the credit that the Spider-Verse team is getting. And they're not the only ones who've been working on cracking this problem in
He makes
their
me
own
wanna
way.
hate anything
Studio
with
Suns
CG.
again started experimenting with frame limiting
Ooh,
of cell-shaded assets, and
I'm a feeling the hate. I'm a feeling it. It's shaking me up. This is making me upset.
Arpeggio of Blue
More.
Steel in
Feel
2013
it.
did some really impressive shit with model swapping for Bubuki Baranki in 2014, and ever since then,
I
they've
do
been
like,
putting out anime that look pretty fucking
I like
good.
that boat one. It's
IMO.
pretty fun.
Except when they don't, and then they really don't. But I'd say that more than half the time, particularly in the fight scenes, the visuals in Sanzagen shows totally pop. And since Spider-Verse and Land of the Lustrous happened, their shit's hit another level. Most anime CGI has,
do
though
this one.
some studios are taking longer to catch up than others. And if you
There
compare
we go.
even dog shit tier CGI anime of today, like Rusted Armors, to once bleeding edge productions like Appleseed, you can see a much stronger understanding of how to control the computer generated image to achieve that desired hand-drawn effect. Even Gemba, one of the studios responsible for Berserk 2016,
want this.
made huge strides in just a couple years with 2019's The Magnificent Kotobuki, which isn't quite there yet in the character animation department, but more than makes up for it with the best diesel punk aerial dogfights ever put to film. Seriously, if you like
There we
planes, especially if you have a good sound system,
Do you
watch
like
this anime and
planes?
thank me later. Of course, those dogfights only look so good precisely because they're not trying to perfectly ape the look of 2D animation.
Oh, it's because
And
they're
that's
not trying
also
to do
a
it.
very valid approach. Shinji Aramaki's team at Sola Digital Arts, made up of a lot of folks who worked on the original Appleseed,
Sola
took their
Digital what?
lessons from what didn't work there in a very different direction, developing a pseudo-realistic style of their own that really came into its own just last.
He's just going on and on about all of these different studios that happen to do CG well. That's all it is at this point. Like how much more? Let me see this.
Year with Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045, and especially Blade Runner Black Lotus. And on the subject of anime-style streaming original CGI series, The Dragon Prince makes a very strong case that this tech is just as effective in realizing vividly painterly fantasyscapes as it is grittily wet dystopian cyber slums. And then, of course, Arcane instantly ends this argument with the most literal expression of the phrase, every frame of painting, this side of Loving Vincent, which, for obvious reasons, doesn't have anywhere near as many moving parts in its entire runtime as Arcane does in certain shots. This look with this level of detail would be simply impossible to achieve practically. And
That lesbian airship anime show had horrible CGI, but it was early 2000s. True. Also, Arcane does look good, gotta say.
yet the magic of it is every bit as self-explanatory as ink on paper. So fully CGI anime are fully valid, and once again, they have
They're valid. He said so. The self-appointed anime pope said so.
been for a while, though not as long a while. A style that works has been found and iterated upon a lot, and lots of both derivative and alternative styles have found their own ways to kick ass and look good doing it. Maybe not always as good as a top-tier hand-drawn theatrical anime production can look, but certainly consistently better than your average TV light novel thing. And now we have Chainsaw Man, combining lessons the artists at MAPPA learned from Dorohedoro and Inuyashiki with the processes that gave us
He
Jujutsu
hasn't
Kaisen to create essentially
mentioned
Arcane's
Ruby.
equal opposite. A 99% aesthetically consistent majority hand-animated series
2045 would have been
maintains
better
the
if it had
full
been
dynamism
2G
a
instead of
live-action
CGI.
film or 3D production throughout its entire runtime. Chainsaw Man
CGI
combines
anime are
CGI and
so
traditional
valid.
animation
They're
cohesively
so
that some of the
true,
3D makers are
man. True
accidentally waiting on
valid.
fully hand-drawn scenes.
They're
The
legit,
CGI in Chainsaw
bro.
Man doesn't take away from the 2D animation. If anything, like Violet Evergarden before it, the sheer quality and dynamism of the assets surrounding their work, these 2D artists to elevate their craft. And far from being distracting, you often have to actively look for the CGI to notice it at all. Every criticism I've ever heard in any anime space about the use of CG, Chainsaw Man almost fully addresses. And yet, they're still hating because hating on CGI is the entire point. This isn't an opinion based in technical expertise or aesthetic sensibilities or even personal taste anymore. It's just a fucking meme.
How
For the
about
sake of both
how
groups,
about
we're missing out on
you
tons of-
how about you debate someone or argue with someone who actually has opinions that are based on facts and not just like I don't like CG. Like, come on, bro. I'm right here. Quit acting like I don't exist. I'm here. Asshole. He's invalidating me. He's trying to validate CG anime while invalidating me. What an asshole. Good CGI anime created by the best studio in the business are better than the shittiest anime ever made. Yeah.
Of great anime due to this stigma
Oh.
and the talented 3D artists whose hard work is being stigmatized. It is well past time. That meme fucking died. I'm Jeff Thu, professional anime appreciator.
better
signing
fucking
out.
die.
Calm.
What are you gonna do about it, Thu baby? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, you little bitch baby? Oh, it better die. If it doesn't die, I'm gonna be so upset. Fuck you gonna do? It better die. Like what? Like you can have an opinion for a while, and then you're like, oh, that whole idea needs to die. There's a reason it still exists. It will haunt you to the end of your days. Because the fact of the matter is that CGI is not there yet. Every time. Sometimes it looks fucking great. Other times it looks pretty bad. And other times it jars you. And as he may know, because he also wears glasses, not everybody has the same damn eyes. So there are people in the world, like there is someone in the world who thinks Handshakers looks good. There is someone out there who thinks that. The rest of us are going to say it looks bad. And CGI being not good by default is true because you have to work very, very, very fucking hard to make it look good. You can't just go click, click, bang, and like, oh yeah, my CG worked out. You have to try so hard as a studio to make the CG look good. That's asinine. That's asinine to just wipe. Like, I'm not a fan of Chainsaw Man, but I understand the people that love Chainsaw Man. I understand why they like it. I understand their arguments for it. I disagree, but I can fully embrace and understand. Like, this is the other side of that coin we were just talking about at the beginning of the stream here today. The beginning of the stream, we were talking about how you need to be able to identify why it is you like something, or what motivates you to enjoy or pursue or keep watching a thing. And the other side of that coin is you need to be able to understand why someone else likes the thing. That's what, like, this is a thing that makes you self-actualized. This is the side of the coin that makes it so that the society can work together and we can all understand one another. Like, and that goes, again, I love doing it with anime and with movies and with games, with stuff that doesn't fucking matter. Like, whether or not Chainsaw Man changes the face of anime, whether or not Gundam Evolution is the greatest video game of all time, these are meaningless in the grand schema of humanity, right? So if we can practice and we can enjoy the sort of like debate and figuring out and learning with stuff like this, stretching our brain, knowing how to argue, knowing how to identify what the other person's points are, figure out what your counterpoints are. We can hash things out on stuff that's meaningless at the end of the day, but helps us relax and helps us to have some catharsis, helps us to deal with the hard parts of the day. Then what we're doing when we are relaxing and enjoying is we're also stretching our brains to be able to help deal with the harder parts of our day when all those days, when those hard days come, because the whole point of the escapism is that it should help you relax, help you get away, help you reset, recharge, and then be able to better tackle the next stage of your life or your day or your task, whatever it is. It's not something that should be fully empty and devoid of use and meaning. And that's when it becomes sort of a problem. Got it. Be real human. Don't be contrarian like Southpaw says. Batman, the animated series, isn't good. What? Who is Southpaw? Do I want $16 or double it and pass it to another streamer? double it and pass it to another streamer. I would love your love a subscription and a if you want to join us in chat. We like talking about anime, video games, escapism, and all that kind of thing. But I'm not here for your $16. I'm sure there's a streamer out there who's hoping they can make rent that is, $30 off from making rent this month that needs it. So continue on. Southpaw's an ex-EFAP member. Who does what is their argument for not liking the Batman animated series? The Batman animated series is fantastic. Hold on, Southpaw Batman animated series. This guy says Southpaw was right. Oh, here's the Mauler subreddit. $16 just Blaine need to give you a toss job. No, he can double it and move on. He ended up listing a dozen episodes he liked. Oh, interesting. Here's a meme repository. Southpaw reached out. Southpaw watched BTAS after it had been hyped to hell and back. Okay, that's not great. Southpaw found only 20 episodes to hold up from a writing standpoint. Interesting. The rest of the episodes were poorly written / executed in some way, shape, or form. Despite their overall poor quality, however, Southpaw still found at least one redeeming aspect in each episode of the series. Southpaw also cross-referenced a lot of these episodes with similar stories in the later show, The Batman, often finding that the less fondly remembered show would more often come out on top writing-wise. Southpaw shared his discovery with the rest of the internet, lamenting how overhyped the show was versus the overall ratio of quality. His overall assessment was 4 out of 10. Huh. This little write-up here, though, doesn't really tell me what he didn't like about it. I'm curious. I'll have to look that up. I'm so curious because I loved that show as a kid. You were on those Twitter threads. That was a heated debate. He only has 3 videos on his YouTube channel because he deletes everything. He can't deal with criticism. Funny. You only know about the guy because Gary brought it up on an episode of FNT. Of course. Oh, hey, Friday night tights. I love their theme song. It's really good. All right. What do I got here? You have to go deep in those Twitter threads, Blade. I was in those trenches. I was wading through the comments and the hearts and the retweets and the ratios, and I was finding my way downtown. Oh, good. Stuart put his little thing out. I'll do a quote retreat. I'll be joining this panel tomorrow. Chat about elections. I mean, elections. Ha! Funny joke. Look at me being a funny joke, man. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, what else we got here? Haven't watched any of those guys in a month because I got tired of constant bitching. Just became too bitchy to listen to. You guys, that's funny. Saw a lot of his stuff before you unfollowed him. Gary exchanged a few words as well. You stepped out and thought, is it the nostalgia making me defend Batman? Nope. You have EFAP running in background on Saturday. Depends on what they're watching. Like they were EFAPing the She-Hulk, and I just don't care. I don't care if it's bad, right? Like, I love comic books. My dad had a huge comic book collection when I was a kid. And And like it was huge for me as a kid until I went to like conventions and was like, oh damn, people got lots of comic books. But he had like 3 of these like really long boxes that were just packed with comics. So I read like Spawn comics, I read Wolverine comics, Spider-Man comics. I would get some different graphic novels from like the library. So like I enjoy comics and stuff, but I don't feel super tied to any comic book iteration of a character, which is weird because like I have a very clear and distinct memory of like the X-Men animated series, for example, you know, stuff that was on TV when I was a kid. I remember those characters, but like the comic book ones, like I was always aware of them. But I they were never like really really big in my brain, right? So like Moon Knight sucks. Oh, they ruined Moon Knight. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. I wish they made a better Moon Knight for you, but like at the end of the day, I don't really care about Moon Knight, so it's not like it's a me thing if it's good or not. But and kind of similar with Star Wars. Like I remember when the prequels came out when I was a kid, and I like watched them in theaters, and I was like, oh, this was fun because I'd seen the originals, and now I saw these. We had a bunch of like the toys and stuff, and I liked the toys that came out more so than the actual like movies or anything like that, or the series that were coming out. So when like new Star Wars comes out, it's like, I'm like, well, that's a thing that sucks now. And I sort of water off a duck's back with it, which is why I'm so interested to see Trigun, because Trigun, I think, is one of, like, has there been other ones? Like Ghost in the Shell has gotten progressively worse, but I haven't really had a remake or a creation of a thing that I held dear that now sucks. I don't like a lot of the new Evangelion rebuilds, but I still have the originals, and I can see the different story that the rebuilds are trying to tell. And I just don't like that story as good as I like the original story. So I'll be interested to see how Trigun comes out, because if Trigun is not great, it may be the first time that I have like that feeling of like you've killed a part of my childhood or something like that. So I'll be interested to see how it comes out. You still watch most EFAP episodes? You saw a few minutes of She-Hulk and it sucked. It was rough trying to watch it. There was so much of She-Hulk that was like, people were posting GIFs, and I kept wondering if they were like actual, like, this is the show that they actually put on TV GIF. Why didn't they just get a jacked like woman and do some like perspective stuff to make her look even taller and have her put a green filter on? Like it the fact that you start getting like these Instagram reels and these TikTok videos and these YouTube shorts that look better than the CG in the Marvel movie, just being a jacked woman with a green skin filter and a low angled camera, is hilarious to me. More so than the whole thing just being bad. You just fucking hate Shinji. I think he's my most hated character to date. Good. The whole point of Shinji, and I will say this till the day I die, is that he's a piece of shit that you wish would get in the robot, but if you were his age in his shoes, you'd have some hesitation too. And that's what makes you hate it even more. Till the day I die, I will claim that. There's a big fan split with the Ava rebuilds, you noticed? Yeah, the rebuilds are... My best way to describe it is the original series is Dark Souls. It is one angel can completely decimate and ruin everything. And then in the rebuilds, they're like a Toho game. They're a shmup. We're flying through and the Avas are knocking out hundreds of enemy units. Like it's a bloodbath constantly flying through space, like doing all kinds of goofy shit. it jumps the shark in such a crazy way. The ending of the last one, I enjoyed. I enjoyed going back to that, like, let's step outside of reality and move through the different layers of reality. I think it's funny that it happens in the Chamber of Guff because in actual like Jewish mysticism tradition, the Chamber of Guff is like where souls are stored. So the idea that that's where they have their like flashback thing is kind of weird to me, because that should be where all of the souls that will eventually join the Earth are supposed to be hanging out. But that's just because Evangelion's borrowing nomenclature and visuals. They're not actually showing anything that means anything in the actual like Jewish tradition or Christian tradition. So very, very funny. OG Ava is like alien and the rebuilds are like aliens. Also apt. Also very apt. Anytime you have an original where in the original everything is steeped, every footstep means something. So like walking through the deck on the alien ship, walking through the forest is Predator, right? All of these things, they mean something. And then you get the Predators and you get the rebuilds, and those are aliens, and those are where it's like, all right, we're gonna take out the Predators. There's aliens coming. AVP now. You know, it's a totally different feel. And the easiest way to go about it is Hideaki Anno hated himself when he made the originals and was going through a really depressed time in his life, and he's got a pretty good time in his life, and he's got a wife now and everything's happy, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna redo these now because I don't want to be so sad no more. And it's like this is the sad story, and the sad story has so much meaning, so much depth, and this is the happy story, and I'm sure the happy story has meaning and depth for a lot of people, but it just means a lot less to me. Yellow Muddy Square, how are you doing? Chamber of Gunt. You didn't know the Israelites worshipped Ethan Ralph? No, Guff, G-U-F. Here, Goff? Chamber of Guff. You get two results. You get Evangelion fandom, and then the Wikipedia with the Hebrew Chamber of Guff. It's the treasury of souls located in the seventh heaven in Jewish mysticism. Basically, it's where all of our souls are, and there's an angel that takes them and tosses them into babies when they're born. But in Evangelion, it's sort of like a dream up whatever you want for the future to be kind of a thing. Like you get to control the world if you're in the Chamber of Guff. It's a very, very different Guff in Evangelion than in the original mysticism. Misato looking good with the hat and the rebuilds. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. I think she gets better in the fourth rebuild, 3.0 plus 1.0. Adrian Brody could totally kill a predator with his nose, like Nick Rekieta. Just where? Ride wife, life good. Wife fight back, kill wife, Ava good again. It sounds like that commercial with that guy. He's like, life suck, drink. Life still suck, debt, drink. And then he like puts the drink down and like starts like farming and stuff. Such a weird commercial from a foreign land, Thailand maybe. I don't actually know what it's from, but it is very, very goofy to me. Anyway, that's all I have for us for tonight. Bit of a shorter one today, but I think that's all right. I've been very focused on the trip. Show Blaine the gorilla meme you speak of. What is it? This one, the Ride Wife one? If I just search this, will it? Oh yeah, right there.
Ride wife. Life good. Wife fight back. Kill wife. Wife gone.
What am I watching here?
Think about wife. Regret.
Fucking gorillas. What? What? Oh, that was good. That was good. Even better now, isn't it? Yeah, that one's hilarious. Hold on, what's the drink, debt, drink, work, pay debt? Here, yeah, the stop drinking Thai ad.
Done.
It's the end of the night. We can just put this on and we'll see what happens.
รู้กินเหล้า
Done.
เลิกเหล้าทำงาน
He's just sitting there drinking, being stressed and in debt. And then he goes and he works.
ทำงาน
And he
เก็บเงิน
works.
ทำงาน เก็บเงิน ใช้หนี้ทำงาน เก็บเงิน ได้เรียน
It escalates so quickly.
มีกิน ช่วยเหลือ ผ่องใส เมียรัก อบอุ่น ไม่ป่วย รวยปัญญา พัฒนา ฉลาด ชาติเจริญไปถึงไหนแล้วก็ไม่รู้แค่เลิกเหล้า
Just stop drinking. My shirt is highly accurate. I don't have friends. I have family. Oh. My shirt is highly accurate. That's why everybody online can be a friend, even though Medicare says not to, because friend is very. I've never met you. I'm sure we'll get along just fine if we do meet in person, but I don't know you personally. But like people I know personally, they go from friend to family very quickly. Because this is what we do right here. It's all about family at the end of the day. Anyway, all right. So tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern. No, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. I will be on Flawed Man of God. Once I get a link for that, I will be posting it. So that we can. Oh, what is this? What are you sending me? So we can chit chat about the old
Right, wife. Life good.
Star
Wife
Wars.
fight back. Kill wife. Wife gone. Think about wife.
No.
Regret.
Tomorrow, CGI will save democracy. Potentially. Potentially, we'll see. We'll see if the computers can do it this time. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I submitted my vote. I know it. Like half of my ballot was all non-competitive runs. So it's like, who do you want to be for your such and such council member? This one person or write in? I'm like, I'm not gonna write in for each of these. Like, sure, you win. Congratulations. You win because you showed up. That's what I say. Anyway. If you vote for people I didn't vote for, you're destroying democracy. Oh my God. What is democracy then? What is the vote? But that's where I will be. I'm gonna cut it for tonight. Everyone, go have some fun. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy CGI. Hate bad CGI. I think that's what we learned. Enjoy good CGI. Hate bad CGI. At the end of the day, it's all up to you what you enjoy. Just engage. That's all I say. Engage with whatever you're watching. If it's something where you gotta, hard day of work, gotta turn my brain off, and that's what you're doing it for, that's why you're engaging it. That's a valid reason to engage with something. So as long as you're like, you know what, this is good because it helps me shut my brain off after a rough day, that works for me too. But just go that extra mile. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll catch you tomorrow for Election Tuesday. I will probably still pop back over here at 7 PST unless something unfathomable happens over on Stu's channel. So we'll go see that. Shinobi no Itoki is heckin' ugly. and valid. It's valid. It has validity in the world of anime. A valid 5 out of 10. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Kanpai.